Take a look at some of these hedgehogs. Hedgehogs are small animals that are best known for their spines, which are actually hollow hairs. When a hedgehog is frightened or threatened, it can roll into a ball, making all of its spines point outward. Hedgehogs also hibernate during the winter and are able to drop their body temperature down to match their surroundings, which conserves their energy. So today, let's go ahead and make this hiding hedgehog in amongst all of these beautiful leaves. This might be kind of fun to move the leaves so that you can hide him and also see him underneath. Let's go ahead and make the hedgehog face. Notice that it's not a regular face like people, but instead it kind of has an M shape for his head, has a pointy nose, and then you can add a smile or eyes open, eyes closed, whatever you want. And around your hedgehog, let's also add in some leaves. Once I've got my hedgehog drawn, my leaves drawn, as well as the texture or the spines on my hedgehog, let's outline in Sharpie. Lastly, we're going to take a moment and use some of these watercolors that we can paint on our project. I want you to go ahead and paint the whole thing so that there's little to no white. You can decide to either use paint for the hedgehog's face, or if you want to use crayon or oil pastel, that's fine too. I might not have very many colors that look the color that you want for the face, so if you need a different material, you may color using crayons or oil pastels. This painting mat underneath my project is super nice. Again, so I can get all the way to the corners so that there's little to no white. Now while that's setting in the drying rack to dry, I'm going to go ahead and grab one of these leaf shapes. Before I do, I'm going to go ahead and finish the spots that I couldn't get to when my paint was still wet. I took an oil pastel and I started coloring it in again so there's little to no white. Once I've decided on what kind of shape that I want for my leaf, I'm going to be taking some oil pastels and making lines on my leaf so that it looks more 3D and that I can use these oil pastels to make it look more like a real leaf. You'll notice that I'm using multiple colors of green, black, and white to match my leaf. Now this is called a brad. This golden piece can go through your construction paper and through your project just by poking it through. One side of the brad will go one direction and the other side of the brad will go the opposite direction so that my leaf can spin and turn to reveal the hedgehog underneath. I wanted to take my black oil pastel and really make my hedgehog stand out with his face. So I'm using a black to do that now. If there's any other details that you would like to add with your oil pastel, maybe some highlights to your leaves or some new colors that you didn't get to add with paint, now would be a really good time to do that.